just when you thought Mauricio Sulaiman couldn't sink any lower. And reading this here, it is infuriating to read it. But if I was a fighter and I was paying sanction fees, certainly at heavyweight or any division seeing this, to the WBC, having them sanction my bout so I can get ranked, reading this, I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't, because they're basically taking a you-know-what on all their fighters that they're ranking, certainly at heavyweight. So Mauricio Sulaiman, this was with a Boxing Social interview, was asked about the mandatory situation for Tyson Fury, and he says, and I quote here, "Why push for any other mandatory that does not have the level of Tyson Fury and will be in the way for Fury to fight Alexander Usyk? Of course he can fight Francis Ngannou. He tried to fight Alexander Usyk. He tried to fight Anthony Joshua. He tried to fight Andy Ruiz. Nobody is taking the fight with Fury." So essentially what he's saying there is, right, why call it mandatory for someone who's not on Fury's level? Well, how do we know that the guys in the rankings are not on Fury's level? Just because you think he beat them, Tyson Fury will beat them, doesn't mean he will. The whole purpose of ranking these fighters and having them fight eliminators to get a crack is to see, are they good enough to fight Tyson Fury? Are they good enough to fight the champion, I should say? By you turning around and saying they're not on the level, you're giving Fury carte blanche to do whatever the hell he wants. You're giving him carte blanche to duck. Says he tries to fight Alexander Usyk. He priced himself out of Alexander Usyk. He moved the goalpost several times when Alexander Usyk made all those concessions. When Alexander Usyk was happy with his deal with the Saudis, Sulaiman, when Alexander Usyk was willing to go to Wembley and take 70-30, and yet Tyson Fury still moved the goalpost, but you're happy to turn around and say, oh, Francis Ngannou was fine. When Tyson Fury giving Anthony Joshua unrealistic deadlines to sign this contract. With the Ruiz one, you might have a point there. I'll give you that one. I would suspect Andy Ruiz was probably looking for a crazy amount of money. That's one of the few times I will say probably was a fighter who priced himself out and could have had the fight but didn't take it. But to say that nobody is taking the fight with Fury, you literally have contenders like Bacoli, Frank Sanchez, who are ranked, Sulaiman, in your organisation, crying out for the opportunity to fight Tyson Fury, who probably, if Fury offered them 100 grand, they'd probably still take that fight. They'd probably jump at that fight because they believe they can beat him. And how do you know if they can beat them? You could say, well, I assume Fury would win, but you won't know that. You don't have a crystal ball where you can look into the future and say, oh yeah, Fury beat this guy, this guy, this guy. Oh, but he didn't beat this. Oh, but he beat... Yeah, you can't do that, Sulaiman, can you not? No, you can't. The only way to figure it out is for him to fight them. You're a sanctioning body. What is the point in these fighters paying sanctioning fees then, Sulaiman? Because if you're turning around and saying, well, none of the fighters are on the level, why are you ranking them? Why are they paying sanctioning fees? If you're a young fighter and you're trying to get ranked, you're going to look at the WBC and say, well, what? Like, how long am I going to wait for a mandatory? How many sanctioning fees am I going to have to pay to fight for little trick of titles without getting a crack at the real thing? And when it comes down to it, when he's quizzed about it, oh, we're not on the champions level anyway, so what's the point? Why don't I just pay it to the IBF or the WBO? Because they actually call eliminators, they actually call their mandatories, and they actually do what sanctioning bodies are supposed to do, for the most part anyway, which is give a ranking system, call for elimination fights, and then call their flipping mandatories, Sulaiman. With regards to Tyson Fury, I mean, he really is... He's been having a go again at Alexander Usyk. This is with TNT Sport. He actually said here, why would I want to fight him for no money? He's got zero personality, he's an ugly something with dappy teeth, and he's half the size of me. This is the guy who was preaching about being kind, by the way. You know, the guy who, you know, non-stop has to bring up that he's got MH issues and stuff like that. And it's be kind. Always be kind. And here he is saying that Usyk is an ugly something, having a go with his teeth and saying he's half the size. If I beat him, oh well, he beat a middleweight. If he beats me, he beat the legendary Tyson Fury for no money. No, I don't think Usyk is not short of money, Tyson. He wants that legacy. All you care about is money. And you tried to gaslight the fans, your fans, and the ones who were dumb enough to believe it, into thinking that you were all about legacy when you're really all about money. If you put Usyk in Morecambe Leisure Centre, he wouldn't sell it out. Yeah, this is a guy who's done better pay-per-view numbers in the UK than you. And not just with Anthony Joshua. You know, look at the pay-per-view numbers for Derek Chisora. So, that doesn't quite jive with that. I offered him 30% of a large bag and he said he wanted more. Actually, he agreed to 30%, but he said you have to donate money to Usyk's home country, the man of the people, and you didn't. Tiger, mad at the people. On what merit do you deserve more? I'm a superstar, you're a nobody. Again, this guy, the WBC giving him carte blanche to do whatever the hell he wants, and he's lapping it up. And he's telling everyone there, basically, like, this is a guy who said any man, any time, any place. But now it's for the right money. Has to make sense. You don't deserve me. This, that, and the other. This guy says he's the best of all time, the best of this generation. If Usyk is so bad, just fight him. Just fight him. If Joshua was so bad, just fight him. Bacoli, Sanchez, if they're unknown and they don't bring money, why did you fight Tom Schwartz and Oliver Lead on pay-per-view and sell them as world title fights? You know, make that make sense. Unbelievable. And I Carl Froch said last week that he feels Fury is hurting his legacy, and I think he is. And I think actually, if anything, Fury will be well advised, a bit like Conor Benn, just to keep his mouth shut. Because every time he goes on camera, he shows himself to be exactly what he is, completely dishonest, disingenuous, economical with the truth, and admit basically that, he doesn't want to fight these guys. He just wants to make money. And to be honest with you, I've no issue with a fighter saying they want to make money. Get rid of your title then. If you want to take these cricket fights, do it. Get rid of your title. Just get rid of it, throw it in the bin. Say you don't want the responsibility of being a champion, I don't want the obligations, I want to have these fights once, twice a year, make a crazy amount of money and then be on my way. That's fine, do it. But no, he's not doing that. And then all the contenders in WBC saying, he doesn't have to fight them. Yeah, he does. Isn't that how a champion works? Isn't that how it works? It'd be like saying, Mike Tyson fighting Buster Douglas. He shouldn't even fight him as a voluntary. But why? Because Buster Douglas, he won't beat Tyson. What he did. You have upsets in the heavyweight division. You have champions who people don't think they'll lose to, and they lose. They pick people from the rankings, they fight them. You think they'll win, they lose. It's the way it is. Sulaiman knows that. He knows that. He really does. Unreal. That's my thoughts on this. Let me know your thoughts. The credibility of the WBC. It's been on its knees for a few years now, but it seems really over like the last 4 years specifically, Sulaiman has really, he is literally a dictator drunk on power, it seems, at this stage, where he just seems to be in that zone of I'm in charge, I'm this, I'm that, and whatever I say goes. And the mere, mortals have to just get in line and just go along with that. That's the way it seems with Sulaiman. It's unbelievable. It really is. WBC, unbelievable. Let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button if you could. And subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. For now, lads and lassies, I'll talk to you. Peace.